Yo guys, I'm HP, this is Dr. Pink, and today's topic is a Hypnotic Phrygian rock guitar riff. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button, and also join the HPCrazy Guitar Academy. So what we're talking about today, I'll show you. I created a really cool riff. You probably love it. And so on. I'm gonna show you how this riff works, how you can create this hypnotic type of vibe into the whole thing, and also I talk about sound setting, playing techniques, and how to develop the whole thing is also. If you do something hypnotic, you have to develop it from low intensity to high intensity, and that's what we're gonna check out. So the first thing is the sound setting. I have this type of a pan delay set on the quarter note. It switches from left to right, and this is called wandering delay. And as you probably can hear, I have a slight octaver in my sound to give more volume to the whole thing. And I also have this creamy type of distortion. This is a Mesa Boogie Mark IV amp with two cabinets. And this alone, when you just do the palm muted low E string, already creates kind of a hypnotic vibe, and you really have to sync it to the beat, and it's 88 beats BPM. That's kind of a tempo which pulls you slowly into this hypnotic vibe. And the first thing which is really important is really precise palm muted 8 notes. Because this is the basis of the whole thing. Let me quickly switch off the two guitar tracks. So we have only drum and bass, that you can figure out this yourself. So it has to be really that. I'll show you. And the next thing you can do is from time to time you pop into this figure, which is really extremely steady, and that creates this hypnotic vibe. You put in some 8 notes. You can do this randomly, you can improvise with this. You can start from the really basic pattern and then start pulling in a few of these 60-note figures. This will sound great. Don't make too many. It's way cooler when you just put them in random. And then out of the nowhere comes the first chord. And well, you don't need to see it from the close. It's a D5 here, 5th fret, 7th fret with the open E string, and this comes 1 and 2. And it just comes out of nowhere and just pops in on this count 2 together with the snare, to go pack. And that creates this whoa effect, And that's the main thing when you don't want to develop a riff or a whole mood in a song. Start slow, and then out of the nowhere comes the first theme, whack, like this, okay? Feel the beat. Then comes the second part of the theme, a C5 chord and a D5 chord. You can do the regular ones here with 3-5, 5-7, or what is way cooler, you do the dropped tuning vibe power chords. So what you're doing here, you make a bar here. You make 3-3-5-5 and go over 4 strings. Together with the octaver, it sounds like you have a tuned down guitar. Even this normal tuned guitar. And this one comes at the end of a four bar figure. So, and it comes 1, 2, 3, 4, chaka. So you're on 4 and you make 2 60 dead notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, chaka. 1, 2, and 3, 4. That's the whole thing. So this is the second thing which comes out of the nowhere. But this has to be really whoosh. I'll show you. Looks like nothing. Well, it's basically it's not really much on the fretboard which is happening, but the main thing, that's why we're not on close U now, but I'm gonna switch now to the close U. Feel the beat, feel this, get into this laid back but really steady thing. That's the key to a lot of cool rock guitar riffs. Has to be really steady, like that, and then be a little bit behind the beat and not in front. Don't push it, a little bit behind, and really figure it out. Just playing these. There's a lot of magic in just this little figure, even for a pro as me, still in these days. That to get really the exact vibe which is needed to create this steadiness which rock guitar, at least in this tempo, should be. And it's not so easy as it looks like. Really pay attention on this, really. And then out of the nowhere, and then you immediately go back to this hypnotic type of 8-note figure. This, of course, is double up with the delay. If you're really precise, then it doubles up and you're going to sound like 3 guitars. Now we're going to check out the second part of the riff, which is more interesting on the fretboard. Yo guys, now we're gonna check out the rest of the riff, the one which gives a real punch. I'll show you. First, how this one gonna be. Now comes the really Phrygian part of the riff. So we're starting with and then we add this little figure. So it goes from E5 to F5 back to E5. And they all has to come in one, like in one whoosh, So while you go down, you still keep the palm muted low E string going on. And then when you go back up, the same thing again. You just make the figure, then you go immediately back to the palm muted low E string. And the answer figure is, so we go from D5 to E5. Then again the same thing. And then we go to the answer to C5, D5. Yo, let's do it. I'll show you with the track again. I must say I found this riff really cool because it gives this hypnotic Phrygian vibe, and somehow it sounds really defined. And yeah, and so on. You can give even more punch while you do this riff if you want. So this is the basic riff, but you can add these 16 notes I was talking about in the beginning of the tutorial. You can also make, you know, you can add them in between to give even more punch, which is quite cool. I'm going to show you how to develop this a little bit more. So you can add them in between if you want to give the whole thing more punch, and you can really, or you can start to attack the strings harder to get more into this hypnotic thing. The main idea is that you keep the steadiness going on to create this hypnotic effect, and the elements you're adding have to be really precise and on the point. Yo guys, that was the Hypnotic Phrygian rock guitar riff, which I just created like 1 hour ago. I'll probably make a song out of this. It's really cool. I love it. And also with this special sound here. The sound is also kind of a key point to the whole thing, especially with the delay and the octaver. Yo, if you want to download that cool backing track which I recorded, plus the tabs, it's available in the HPCrazy guitar community. Please join there with a free member account, or in order to download the stuff with a premium member account. If you love my channel, please subscribe, share the information that this channel exists, help it to grow, and support me and Dr. Pink also maybe with a fan t-shirt. You can also buy it in the product tab. Yo, that's all for today. Me and Dr. Pink are signing off.